The following program is a Sports Night radio production.
Sports Night Radio live at Boston Pizza, 40 Eglinton Avenue East in downtown beautiful Toronto. On the show today, brand new cast of the program, along with Marcello the Weasel.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Exactly. Happy Mother's Day to all. And the returning Randy. We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, but he's here now. He's back from his stint in Ahab. Ahab, yeah, double A. Yeah, whatever. Ahab. It's the Aaron Club. Along with the new co-host of the program, we have beautiful Ashley and Julie Banks. Professional, as always, as you can see. Yes, she's the reporter. Today we're talking a very simple thing. 4 simple things, actually, today in the segments. And on the show on Sports Night Radio today, we're going to start it off right now with the big news. 50 games for Manny Ramirez taking steroids. Now, I don't know about you. Marcello and the Weasel in the past has taken steroids. Look at him now. He is only 20 years old. Look at him. Look at that face. It's disgusting. So Manny Ramirez gets knocked off for 50 games, one of the highest suspensions ever, other than the life suspensions from the White Sox from a long time ago in Major League Baseball. Steroids is being used, and they've actually taken one of their big stars out of the game for 50 games. Randy, what does this do for baseball? You got to think, Barry Bonds didn't even get thrown out for this.
Well, you actually have proof that it wasn't actually steroid. It was a masking agent. When coming down off steroids, that's what you take. It's actually something like estrogen.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a female fertility drug. At first he said that his doctor prescribed it. We take estrogen.
So what you're saying is that drug is used to get off of a steroid?
Yeah, it's coming down from your cycle. And, yeah, there's no way a guy would take that unless he wants to become the first female baseball player.
That's great, Randy, but I don't know about you guys, but you want to pay me $50 million a year to take a substance like that and have a career year and all that? I'll do it. So you can't say that. You don't know the pressures that you're going through and all that, and you can't sit here and say that by taking that and making all that money, you wouldn't do that. So it's easy to point the finger. The guy's got a lot of pressure. You know what? If he wants to do that to his body and something's going to happen later on, so what? So be it.
When you become a star, though, you're a role model for these kids, and you know that you're in the limelight, and you're getting paid $25 million a year. You better be clean, you better go to that gym, and you better practice.
Yeah, and it's so risky, too. Like, why risk your entire career? This is not just one incident. This is like a larger incident in baseball with, doping and... I mean, look at how many cases we've seen so far, like in the last couple of years.
Well, and in sports in general, the Olympics are cracking down on this. Baseball has become really cracking down with Roger Clemens, Mark McGwire. A couple of questions that I posed to all of you, starting off with you, Binks. Will this ruin his reputation? Will he not go to Cooperstown, to Baseball Hall of Fame because of this?
I don't know. I mean, it'll definitely taint it, I think, but it looks like the Dodgers, they love him. He's done so much for them, and they're just going to sort of look past it a bit. I feel like he'll be able to get past it, but still, I mean, you see Ben Johnson, you see Marion Jones, all other athletes, you can't just, get over it. It's always going to be there.
But to debate that, a lot of these athletes have come out later on and they said, you know what, I admit to doing this drug. Manny Ramirez is sticking by a story right now saying, well, listen, it was just given to me as a drug from my doctor. Is 50 games enough?
I think it's more than enough.
I think it's more than enough as well when you have somebody that's fully told, such as A-Rod, that yes, I've taken them for 3 years, and nothing happens to him, and this man says, okay, I made a mistake, and he gets 50 games for it.
But A-Rod,
$8 million.
But A-Rod, when he did it, it was perfectly legal, and he was allowed to do it in the major leagues. Now it's illegal, and you can't do that. So A-Rod never got. It was okay when A-Rod was doing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever okay to take drugs to enhance your performance. You can't take the upper hand on people like that when people put hard.
So I'm sorry, like nobody off the street. You're gonna give me those drugs and I'm gonna hit 50 home runs. No, they have some talent already, so their image is not gonna be tainted. I mean,
but you're changing the baseline. Not everyone's at the same level right now.
The benchmark is different.
Yeah, it's totally unfair. And you think you're gonna treat all these players the same? Give
Everybody
them the same
talks
credit?
like that, but how do you know Babe Ruth and these other guys? You don't know back then. Did they really do testing and all that? You know they didn't do it.
Well, but
you want to compare it to those guys, all the real players, the Hank Aaron's and Babe Ruth and all that. We don't know what they did back then.
Well, we know there was different drugs in different eras.
Still.
In the 80s, in the 70s, 80s, we had acetaminophen, we had a lot of different things that came into effect.
Yeah.
But Major League Baseball has kind of negated the fact that there have been steroids and that there are steroids, and all of a sudden now they've come really firm, especially after Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
After Roger Clemens and what is going on right now in Major League Baseball, they've come down hard, and this is the first one. They've come down hard. 50 games is a lot of games. So a lot of people in Los Angeles feel cheated by Manny Ramirez. If you're a fan of the LA Dodgers,
hey,
how do you feel?
We're thinking about winning. Okay, they can say that. Well, what do you mean you're cheated? If Manny Ramirez is hitting 50 home runs and winning like every game for you, how do you feel cheated? If the guy wants to do that to his body,
Because
let it happen. So what? He knew what he was getting himself into.
He knew the rules, and now he's let his team down.
What do you mean he's let them down? How's
You
that
know
letting
that
them
it's
down?
wrong, and you're still doing it. And if you're that big of a star, and you just take whatever your medical doctor gives you without any kind of research into it, you got to take care of yourself. You're a franchise yourself. You need to take care of it.
You also remember things like the legacy of the 2004 Red Sox, 2007 Red Sox when he was playing there. Other players were caught with drugs after or before on that team. You got to think, well, David Ortiz, his numbers are down this year, the last couple of years, because you think, what, was he on something in 2004? Was Manny on in 2004? All these big players that
Hold
had.
on,
And Manny Ramirez argues that he's passed over 15 drug tests so far, and everything is fine. And this is one where he went to a doctor. Now, this is what I'm trying to figure out is why doesn't the doctor come out and say, listen, I prescribed this guy the wrong medication. That isn't the case. And obviously, there's due process in any situation, in any sport. So that's been given the case. So we know that if his doctor hasn't gotten his doctor to come out and say something, who's in Florida, and there's all these issues what's going on with doctors in Florida prescribing certain things, there has to be something to this. Will this be a deterrent? 50 games, is this a deterrent to all the other superstars and non-superstars in Major League Baseball right now to stop doing steroids?
Why? It's happened before, and they're still doing it. So what's the difference?
He's lost almost $5 to $7 million because of suspension. He's not being paid.
Oh wow. So what? And what does he have still? Another 50 mil? So what?
But what does that say for the next guy?
But exactly what he said.
But you know what? Everything you do is taking a chance, whether it's sports or anything else. You get caught, you get caught. You get punished. He's got his punishment. It's a fair punishment, 50 games. He's going to have to put up with the public and his teammates and everything else. So it's like, that's fine. He did it.
As I was saying, we've seen this so many times in sport. Do you think that athletes are going to keep trying to push the boundary? Do you think there's going to be more masking?
Yeah, you know how much money these people get? If you're offered that much money, you are going to do what you do. But you do need to understand that these are the consequences, and you will have to deal with it.
That's right.
I don't agree that he should have taken those drugs, and they should have other doctors that are part of the team that should take care of him, and he shouldn't be going to other doctors outside.
I'm going to throw something out here right now.
Hold on. What people should realize also as well, right? There could be a time in your career where you don't have that energy or something's going on, stuff like that. You know what? You want to cross the line a bit. What are you going to do? You get caught, you get your suspension, and that's it.
Nonetheless, the idea of steroids is the idea of cheating. It is enhancing yourself. It is the idea of cheating.
No.
And that's
like I said. How could that be cheating? It's like I said, I'm going to take steroids. I'm going to go hit 50 home runs. You still have to have talent.
So that means everybody in the major league should be taking steroids to make it even. Then that's what you're saying.
Everyone should be doing it.
So go ahead, do that. But it doesn't mean everybody's going to hit 50 home runs. You still have to have God-given talent. That's all I'm saying.
Even if you have
talent to make you there, but you have to sustain. You have to be able to still be able to stabilize who you are. You have to go to the gym. You have to work out. You have to go to practice and practice all the time. That's the only way that how you get better.
But your body changes. You're going to get older.
Then somebody else is going to come up and take your place.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. But the pressures of that is going to make people do things like that.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to say.
To change the topic here, Bud Selig has been in charge of baseball for almost 20 years now. Should this be the point where, you know what, we finally caught the big superstar taking steroids, we've suspended him for 50 games. Should this be Bud Selig's time to say, you know what, his era, Major League Baseball and Bud Selig will always be tampered with drugs. Should Bud Selig step down as commissioner of Major League Baseball? Yeah, it's probably they should get somebody else in there. He's been there for so long, and people are still doing it. Get somebody else and see. Maybe they have a different way of running things, and maybe it'll change. Personally, I don't think it's going to change. There's always going to be big superstars, even little guys are going to take it. Randy, what do you say?
Honestly, I don't think he will, because you never want to step down at the end of a scandal.